You live in the heart of Lincoln, Nebraska.
Hold up. Wait a minute. That ain't right.
On air and online at theticketfm.com. Here are your hosts, Jake Bakoven and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
Happy Wednesday to everybody out there. This is the Ticket Water Cooler on 93.7 The Ticket. I'm Jake Bakoven. He is Enrique Alvarez Clary. And we're ready to talk some Husker football, Husker basketball, a little bit of an NFL playoffs, maybe, NFL draft. There's a lot going on and a lot we can break down. But I did want to start with this because I'm interested in it. We kind of broke it down a little bit yesterday as we were talking about what you would be happy with as a Husker fan as far as a win total. And of course, we have all offseason to do that. But I find it particularly fascinating this year. We were kind of throwing around the idea that 6 would be a pretty good season. Rico and I agree that that would be a good number of wins just because of where the program's been. And obviously, it's a transition year. It's our first year 0, year 1 under Matt Rule. But of course, Matt Rule was on a podcast the other day and was talking about. He said something that kind of caught my ear and I thought was interesting. Is basically a lot of us are trying to, or not trying to, but just kind of thinking, give him a year. This looks like a long-term build. They're flipping the roster. They're doing things more for down the line. But he said that year for them was last year. And I think that's kind of, first of all, very cool for Matt Rule to say. And I think that there's a difference between what Matt Rule has to say and what the legitimate expectations should be too. I mean, I don't think a coach can go into his locker room and say, hey guys, let's win 50% of our football games, or hey guys, don't worry, this year's year 0, So I think that there's a certain positioning and he's all about setting the foundation, getting the right type of guy in the locker room and getting that confidence up. So he's obviously not going to say those type of things, but from the outside, I just thought that was kind of interesting because I kind of agree with him. And that's kudos to Trev Alberts is that, usually you have that just, again, I go back to the Mike Riley year where it was like the writing was on the wall. He kind of lost the team there at certain points. And it was just, okay, you're starting from scratch. The new coach comes in. But with what Trev Alberts did last year, and part of it maybe was worth spending that $7 million extra on Scott Frost, was to kind of maybe get that year in last year, to get the idea, with these players, that there's still more to fight for. This probably isn't going to be the team that you're going to have next season, but you can establish that foundation. And, I don't know if things worked out perfectly. Obviously, you want to be better than 4-8. But ultimately they did show fight. And that was part of what Matt Rule was impressed with again, too, on this podcast, saying, to be a team that's not bowl eligible, in the final game of the season, go and beat an Iowa team that has so much on the line, that's impressive. That's what he wants to see. So for Matt Rule himself to say that year for them was last year, I again, credit to Coach or to Trev Alberts for doing it, but I kind of buy into that.
Yeah, I mean, it's really easy to say that it's going to be a rebuild and that they're going to struggle and not going to be able to put up many wins this year just because you're flipping the roster, even though many people would say that it's not really flipping, it's just restocking a roster with some talent. Whatever you want to call it, they're getting a lot more new players into this team than they are going to they're going to have a lot more new starters more than likely on this team than they had last year. So if you look at it that way, it could be considered kind of a rebuild. But if you also take into account the amount of players returning, regardless of the fact that they only won 4 games last year, and if you want to go back, play a little bit of not revisionist history, but if you want to go back and look at the games, look at the schedule, I mean, the Northwestern game, they probably should have won. The Georgia Southern game, they probably should have won. The Wisconsin game, they were up for the entire time except for the very end when they ended up losing the game. So that's 3 more wins you could add on to the win total. And I know we're not going to do that. We're not going to sit here and say, oh, this team could have had a winning record and could have, gone to a bowl game or whatever last year, because they didn't. That's what happened is they didn't. They could have won those games. They didn't win those games. So we're not going to go back and do that. But if you look at it, and despite thinking, believing, and record-wise saying that this team was no good last year, they were still in a decent amount of the games. And if you add on to the fact that now you have a new coach and a new staff that might be able to get these guys to believe more in themselves and to play at a different level than they were playing at last year. And then you add in the fact that they're adding some more players that might be better, hopefully are better than what the players that they are replacing. You might be able to say, okay, you can chalk in and not even looking at the schedule, you get your 4 wins, and then you can add a couple more to that, and you'll get yourself bowl eligible, and that'll be your rebuild, your restocking season, your year 0, your year 1. Whereas, Matt Rule is saying, they did that last year, they're ready to go. I mean, I don't want to get too high. I don't want to drink the Kool-Aid, the Roulade, as the internet is saying, but there's a chance that they could have a decent season this year. And like you said, the coach isn't going to go in and say, okay, guys, we have to win 6 games. That's it. We just have to win 6. Once we get to that, everything after that is icing on the cake or whatever. He's not going to do that. They're going to go in, they're going to have the utmost confidence in themselves, and they're going to believe that they, as he said on the podcast, we can win every game, but we also know that we have the possibility of losing every game. And I think that's a good mentality. Is you go in, and obviously, you're going to have people who say, if you go in and believe you're going to lose a game, then you've already lost, or you're never going to win, and that's not a championship mindset. But especially first year with a team that hasn't won much, a lot of guys that haven't won much aside from maybe some of the transfers that you're bringing in, you've got to flip the mentality. And yeah, a lot of these guys in high school were probably on really good high school teams. We're probably the dudes on their high school team or the dudes in their state. So they're used to winning. But once you get to a college team that hasn't won much in many years, the mentality around it is different. And hopefully the mentality has flipped now that Rule and his staff are here and they're ready to start winning games, and maybe the addition of some of these transfers will be able to do that, and they'll be able to get on the right track.
Well, and I think it's interesting too, is you kind of break down what Matt Rule is inheriting, right? We always talk about, oh, this coach left the cupboards bare, this and that, and I don't necessarily see it as Scott Frost, has done that, but at the same time they are. I mean, they're probably going to let go, several of his scholarship players to replace some of his own. So, I mean, he's got his own evaluation he has. But I guess my point is, this team, as the Scott Frost era, was not about getting blown out and losing the team and just not having a chance to win. It was a lot of the times about Scott Frost getting in his own way for the team to win the games. And so when you talk about kind of what's the talent on here, or what kind of mess is Matt Rule inheriting, and maybe it's just due to the fact that he's inherited some absolute messes and mainly Baylor. I don't think Tipple was that bad, but they were moving up conferences, moving up the quality of conference, that he basically just says, yeah, I don't see that as, as what I'm inheriting here. I think I'm in a better starting spot at Nebraska. And, with the closeness of the games that were just prevalent in the Scott Frost era, that's what was disappointing, is that team was good enough. And I always go back to it. I think his best team was 2021, the 3-9 team, the team that statistically had the worst winning percentage of all his teams. And again, I think that reflects on Scott Frost and his staff, is they didn't get the most, some wins. But we saw in that season, I mean, they shut down the Doak Walker Award winner for a half, didn't allow a first down in that half. Lincoln Riley, his offense was held to an all-time low. I mean, they had some good performances. They just couldn't get across that line. And I obviously this isn't the Bo Pelini to Mike Riley transition, because that was kind of the same idea. They're right there. They just need maybe a different leader to push them. I don't think they're right there, but they're still. I mean, they're right there. If you're talking about 6 wins, then absolutely they could be.
I mean, if you look at it, after Scott Frost was let go and Mickey Joseph took over, I mean, they won 3 games. They were able to beat an Iowa team that Scott Frost and Mike Riley had never beaten. Mickey Joseph was able to take the exact same team, the exact same roster, and win 3 games in the final however many games of the season. You still only ended up with 4 wins, but you pushed Wisconsin to the limit. You were right there with Minnesota the entire time. The Illinois game didn't look too pretty. The Purdue game was back and forth. Like you were there in a lot of those games. Sure, Michigan didn't look pretty and Oklahoma didn't look pretty, but you can kind of chalk up the Oklahoma game to a change in everything kind of going on. I know you don't want to just like write it off because it's still a loss, but at the time, you lose your head coach, you're transitioning to a new head coach, your defensive coordinator gets fired the week after that game anyways. So it was a time of transition for the Oklahoma game. But Mickey Joseph and the staff last year was able to take the exact same roster and was able to win the same amount of games that Scott Frost won the entirety of the year previous.
That's right. And I think too, I mean, again, it's just kind of what you're talking about. And if the 6-win mark, which I still, after saying all this, I still think that would be a significant step up for Nebraska season. I'm not, just look at the numbers. It is. But I guess I always go back to, like you said, like the Minnesotas, the Purdues of the world. Nebraska does need special playmakers. They need all Big Ten type of guys. I always say there are a few all Big Ten guys away from beating those teams. You're a lot of all Big Ten guys away from competing with Ohio State and Michigan. So that's a different level. But as far as just kind of taking that next step, competing for the West, it can be done in year one. And they could far succeed a 6-win expectation.
The Big Ten West is in transition. There's a lot of things happening there.
Particularly Wisconsin
and Purdue.
Yeah, and Iowa.
Illinois lost their defensive coordinator.
There's a lot of things going on. Nebraska throw them in there as well. So, they can say that from the outside. But very interesting stuff. All right, let's take a quick break. Mel Kiper Jr.'s got his new big board out, and he's got C.J. Stroud up top. That's kind of interesting. We'll talk about the NFL draft, also the college football numbers throughout that the last 20 years. We'll do that next here on the Ticket Water Cooler on 93.7 The Ticket.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience with Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sure. Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Hair loss and thinning is chronic, progressive, and frustrating. What we know is that the earlier it's diagnosed and treated aggressively, the better the long-term results. QC Kinetics offers a unique and comprehensive approach to restoring and improving hair follicle density and hair thickness. The majority of hair loss can be managed medically without the need for surgery. Their multifaceted approach to hair restoration allows them to help you improve both the appearance and thickness of your hair. Call QC Kinetics in Lincoln today at 402-205-4270 or go to qckinetics.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, don't be red.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Patchy fog this morning, then a bit of a cooler afternoon on the way. We'll see a high of 28, but temps falling into the low 20s by this evening. Northwest winds could gust to around 25. We'll see partly cloudy skies tonight with a low of 13. Try to warm things back up just a touch tomorrow with a high of 31. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Look at your car. It's filthy and probably has a few dings and nicks all over it. Don't be that guy. Get it upgraded and repaired at Renew Your Auto. At Renew Your Auto, they offer tons of services: ceramic coating, window tinting, paintless dent repair, washes and details, bed liners, body shop, and more. Where can you go to get services like that all in one place? Schedule your appointment today at renewyourauto.com. See what Renew can do for you.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another auto repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service there. Please give me a call for your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always our answers.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to Oak Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help
you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet. O Street Carpet. 1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Tractor Supply is looking for full-time team members for their Waverly Distribution Center. Tractor Supply has a new progressive pay model where team members receive 5 wage increases in the first 2 years of employment with the ability to earn up to $24 per hour. Applicants can expect a 3- and 4-day work week schedule with additional overtime days with both day and night shift schedules available. At Tractor Supply, they work hard, have fun, and make money. Apply today at tractorsupply.jobs.
You were almost home when suddenly you find yourself battling off the germs that cause sore throats. Luckily, you've been training for this moment by staying up to date on vaccinations, washing your hands, disinfecting surfaces at home, and avoiding touching your face. And thanks to the great tips at catchgoodhealth.org, you're on your way to being the very best at staying well. Pikachu! Damage your health this cold and flu season. Instead, start your training today at catchgoodhealth.org.
Are you a veteran looking for a new companion animal? A dog? A cat? Or maybe something else? The Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs Vets Get Pets program can cover up to $350 of your pet adoption fees. Visit veterans.nebraska.gov/vetsgetpets to learn more about program requirements and how to apply. Want to help support the program? Get your Vets Get Pets specialty license plates from the Nebraska DMV. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Back to the Ticket Water Cooler. Brought to you by Wingstop on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Yeah, we're rocking out again here on a Wednesday afternoon on the Ticket Water Cooler. And that looks kind of cool. I don't know, Rico. I think there was like a glitch there, but when you were doing that, it even looked like you were really headbanging there on the stream. So
I was. My neck hurts now.
You probably have a headache. You can't do that as much as when you're younger.
No, I'm old now.
Yeah.
I turned 30 this year.
Oh, congrats. The big 3-0.
Yep, dirty 30.
Yeah. You going to do anything different?
Absolutely not.
No. You better start eating more healthy. I've found out since I've become 30, gained a few more pounds. I can't drink as much Dr. Pepper and get away with it anymore.
I'm working out, so I'm good.
Yeah, yeah. That's
as long as I work out and I cut back to 1 pop a day or 1 pop every couple of days, I'm good.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm drinking a lot more water than I used to, so there's that.
That is a good start. Now that is a good start. Anyway, you can get the water in. Let's talk a little bit of NFL draft since it's a little bit interesting. There's a few different ways we can go with that. I'm going to start with Mel Kiper's mock draft. And I know you have particular feelings about C.J. Stroud. Mel Kiper.
It's a joke.
Mel Kiper is more so than anybody else. I don't see too many mock drafts out there with C.J. Stroud at the top. As far as the quarterback goes, Mel Kiper's mock draft came out. Jalen Carter, of course, the defensive tackle out of Georgia, he has projected to go first to the Bears. That's if the Bears do not trade it. Obviously, they don't have a quarterback need. But as far as quarterbacks, he's got C.J. Stroud going number 2 to the Texans. He's got Bryce Young going number 4 to the Colts. And in the top 10, he's got Anthony Richardson, a project quarterback a bit, but very athletic, going to the Carolina Panthers.
Why?
Will Levis. Oh, I skipped Will Levis.
Yeah.
Who he's got going number 5 to the Broncos.
Why?
Or the Seahawks.
Like I don't know how to say this in the night. I'm just gonna try. Okay. Why is everybody so high on Will Levis? Like, is he actually good?
He, the way that I heard Mel Kiper kind of say it was
I swear, if you say Josh Allen, I'm going to fight you.
No. He said 2 years ago when he had a good line and he had like Wan'Dale Robinson, he had weapons. That's where he was really impressed. Like he was able to show his rushing. Mm-hmm. He said basically throw this last year out. So that's not a great way to do it.
I don't think you can.
I don't think you can do that. But I mean, it's always worth worth keeping in mind that Patrick Mahomes went into the league with like a 4-8 Texas Tech team or 6-7 7, whatever it was. So I mean, you could.
I guess
he doesn't think he's the best college,
but he was also
he
taking
thinks he projects the best.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes was also taking like 15th, not top 10.
Yeah, but I mean, he should have been taken number 1.
I don't. Yeah, obviously in a redraft he probably is. But I mean, I guess Seattle, if that's if you're going after a quarterback, you could do that, considering he might be one of the better quarterbacks. But I don't with the way that they run their offense, I think Anthony Richardson would be a really good pick for them. But I guess if you're looking, deep ball and everybody's looking for, a Josh Allen type guy, and that's all I keep hearing about Will Levis. I'm like, can we just stop comparing people to like amazing Pro Bowl players? Just like, yeah, this guy reminds me a lot of this guy. It's like, no, just okay.
Well, that's what you need if you're going to draft this high. If you're going to draft a quarterback, you're marrying your franchise to them, basically.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's weird, and I don't know about. I just don't know about Will Levis. Like, you can't just throw a year out. Like, he didn't, well, he had a good offensive line and some playmakers. Okay, well, is he going to have a good offensive line and playmakers, in Seattle? Like, who does he have?
That's the challenge of all of this is put Will Levis, put Anthony Richardson in C.J. Stroud's shoes. I mean, that you see, sure, C.J. Stroud looks great with like 2 NFL tackles, 2 NFL running backs, probably 16 wide receivers that are going to get to the NFL. And I'm exaggerating a little bit there, but it's probably like 13 or 14. I don't know how many they have on that roster.
Well, I mean, you just look at all those. You look at the receivers he's gotten to work with. Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's incredible. So I mean, like watching the film. Yeah, C.J. Stroud looks the smoothest, and particularly his game against Georgia, kind of that at least was kind of more equal playing field, right? You're playing against, Kelly and Ringo is going to be a first round cornerback, just altogether that Georgia defense, and he
light them up,
put on a show.
Yeah.
So that I think that's why he's risen among the boards, and I can't wait to see it. But I mean, it is that one thing that you bring up often. He didn't win enough in college at Ohio State, which he probably had like won over 90% of his games, but he didn't win enough.
Yeah,
he didn't beat Michigan. He didn't win the Big Ten.
It's funny to say he didn't win enough when he probably lost like 3 total games in his college career. But yeah, like you just said, he never won the Big Ten. He was a Heisman finalist twice, maybe once. Never won a national championship. I don't even think he won a playoff game. Never beat Michigan in his college career. So it's kind of a joke when I say like C.J. Stroud is a career loser, but that's all I'm talking about is he never won the big games that he was supposed to win as the quarterback of Ohio State. Obviously, he's not a career loser. He's a fantastic quarterback, and he's going to make tons of money and hopefully have a very successful pro career. But at the same time, like when you think of an Ohio State quarterback, you think of a guy who's done all that, a guy that's going to go in the top 3, top 2 in the NFL draft. You're like, oh, he must have won the Big Ten multiple times and was a Heisman finalist every time. Maybe made it to the national championship. He's never done any of that.
Yeah. Do you agree though? Altogether, 4 quarterbacks in the top 10. I think it's
this is not
on him a little bit, but
this is. I don't believe that this is the strongest quarterback draft. It's a very athletic quarterback draft, but in terms of like guys that I would hitch my wagon to for if I was leading a franchise, I think you've got 2. It's CJ and Bryce.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously I'm not an NFL GM, nor will I ever be, but that's my take on it. Is that you've got that's never gonna happen. That's too much. That's too much work. That's too much stress. A lot going on. You get like 3 bad drafts, you're done. Yeah. You're getting paid pretty good, but still, I don't want to do that.
Well, that's what's interesting too, is as he has the Panthers taking Anthony Richardson, Matt Rule is also saying that like if he knew he was going to get 2.5 years, he would have taken a quarterback. Like, so I think he was just somewhat, and I don't think they obviously hired him thinking, hey, we'll give him 2.5 years to get this fixed. But he said, if I knew, I got to be on the same step with your GM or whatever. If I knew that was going to happen, I would hitch myself to a quarterback. And if he does, he's probably still in the NFL because they get
about like 2 or 3.
Well, then they give you time to develop with that quarterback to come around. Remember Zach Taylor's first year with Joe Burrow. Not the prettiest. They stuck with him, and now look
that's because Joe Burrow got hurt.
Partially,
they wanted to give him a year, but like with Joe Burrow healthy and actually playing.
Yeah,
which you saw what happened.
And I'm not saying everybody's Joe Burrow, and that would obviously happen with Matt Rule. I'm just saying that's a good way to hit that. If you're a coach and you can convince your GM, that's a pretty good way for job security.
Look, we need a quarterback.
We need a quarterback.
I don't think we need a good.
My
We need a quarterback.
Yeah, a quarterback I can work with.
We have Justin Fields. We need a quarterback.
All right, let's.
I mean, it's kind of what Kingsbury did when he got to Arizona.
Yeah,
he drafted Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Josh Rosen was a first-round number 10 overall pick the year before. He drafted Kyler Murray number 1 overall. Sent Josh Rosen over to the Miami Dolphins. It was just like, we don't need you. This is my quarterback. And he got multiple years, even though they barely won.
Well, they won a lot in the first half of the year.
Yeah.
They never could
Second
win the
half
second
struggles.
And then this last year, they were just bad. How about this? The most NFL draft picks since the year 2000. This is the college schools. Who do you think's number 1?
Since the year 2000?
Yeah, don't think too hard.
It's either Alabama or Ohio State. I'm going to go Alabama.
It is Ohio State, but you're all right. Number 1 and number 2 are Ohio State and Alabama. Ohio State's had 157 draft picks. Alabama's had 144. If you look at just first rounders, then you can switch it. Then it's Alabama with 39, Ohio State with 34. Third on that list might surprise you. You got to think back to the year 2000 and on.
Year 2000.
Third in the year 2000.
LSU.
That is actually third in draft picks total.
Oh, third first rounders?
Third and first rounders.
Florida.
No, they're down long. They had 25.
Okay. USC?
It'll be going to be hard. They had 24.
Dang it. Is it an SEC team?
No.
Florida State.
No, they had
Miami.
25. Miami, 32. I think probably like 28 of those were in the 2001 draft or 2002 draft, whatever it was after that.
Yeah, the entire if you think back, like they weren't all first rounders, but Florida State's national championship team, everybody from on the offense and the defense was drafted.
That's right.
Yeah. All 22.
Yeah.
All the starters.
Yeah, and that was a really loaded squad, and maybe the reason why Jimbo Fisher looks a lot better then than he does now.
There's your one national title.
Yeah.
All NFL players.
But it is, if you go through the top 10, actually, there is another Big Ten school at the bottom. This is the most NFL draft picks since 2000. We mentioned Ohio State number 1, Alabama number 2, LSU number 3. Got number 4?
It's got to be Michigan, right?
No. Well, the other Big Ten team.
Yeah, the other Big Ten team. Yeah.
The other Big Ten team is Michigan. They're
Okay,
at number 10. I just guess who's number 4?
Number 4.
And just draft picks. Again, don't think too hard.
Texas.
No, they're actually not on the list.
Am I thinking they're not?
No.
That's strong. Well, they did have like
they've had that drought.
Yeah, they have. Nebraska. No, I'm kidding.
No.
Don't think too hard.
No.
Florida.
They're number 5.
Goodness gracious, I'm dancing all over the place.
You've got just about everybody. So there's 2 schools you haven't mentioned yet that are in the top 10 because you've mentioned Florida State.
I don't just
SC,
give
Miami.
it to me. I'm done with this.
Back-to-back national titles.
Georgia.
Georgia's
Goodness
number 4.
gracious.
Number 9 is Oklahoma. So those are your most
Gosh,
successful.
I've named the entire top 10. Where are we ranked? Yeah, Chase B. I don't think we're going to be up there very high.
Yeah, they didn't have the. This is just the top 10. They didn't have.
Then we're not
the
up
top 37 or whatever Nebraska is.
Just somewhere down there, somewhere down the line.
Yeah, all-time Nebraska's still doing pretty good, and hopefully they get back to that. I think Trey Palmer, O'Shawn Mathis, perhaps Garrett Nelson.
Yeah.
Kind of where you're sitting, looking into this.
People are going to want to say Garrett Nelson should be drafted before O'Shawn Mathis, and at some point I kind of agree, but I think O'Shawn's more set in his ways. What am I trying to say? He's got more of the NFL body.
Yeah, I think Garrett's going to give you all the hustle that you need. He's going to be great if he's a late round pick, or and he might make it. But he's kind of a sack rush specialist that didn't have enough sacks. I think is kind of where he's in there because he's not really a run stopping defensive end.
I think if he takes off some of the weight, he might be able to go back to outside linebacker.
Yeah. We'll see. I'll be cheering for him. I'm excited to see what his career becomes. I just don't necessarily expect him to be a high draft pick.
Or put on more weight.
Yeah, one way or the other.
Defensive end. You got 2 ways.
He's got the attitude, born and bred and developed here.
Oh, yeah.
In Nebraska. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll invite Nick in for the crossover, for a happy hour crossover coming up next year on 93.7 The Ticket. Jake Buckelman here. Let me tell you about my friends at Solarion. I've been working with them as a participant in their clinical trials for many years. They help develop new pharmaceutical products, and I get to be a part of it. All I do is check the website for possible studies that might apply to me, see if they fit into my schedule, and if I'm eligible for participation within the parameters laid out, I can make up to $500 per day in a study and feel confident in the staff and research done by Solarion to be a willing participant. Last year, more than 800 people completed a study in Lincoln, and I was one of them, and to be. If you're curious about how to earn up to $500 per day by participating in a research study at Solarion, and with the several options for scheduling, check them out at helpresearch.com/new or call them at 866-213-2965. Once again, that's Solarion at 866-213-2965 or at helpresearch.com/new.
Hair loss and thinning is chronic, progressive, and frustrating. What we know is that the earlier it's diagnosed and treated aggressively, the better the long-term results. QC Kinetics are unique and comprehensive restoring and improving hair follicle density and hair thickness. The majority of hair loss can be managed medically without the need for surgery. Their multifaceted approach to hair restoration allows them to help you improve both the appearance and thickness of your hair. Call QC Kinetics in Lincoln today at 402-205-4270 or go to qckinetics.com.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We are built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Look at your car. It's filthy and probably has a few dings and nicks all over it. Don't be that guy. Get it upgraded and repaired at Renew Your Auto. At Renew Your Auto, they offer tons of services: ceramic coating, window tinting, paintless dent repair, washes and details, bed liners, body shop, and more. Where can you go to get services like that all in one place? Schedule your appointment today at renewyourauto.com. See what Renew can do for you.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve. Our floor professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet. O Street Carpet. 1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Tractor Supply is looking for full-time team members for their Waverly Distribution Center. Tractor Supply has a new progressive pay model where team members receive 5 wage increases in the first 2 years of employment with the ability to earn up to $24 per hour. Applicants can expect a 3- and 4-day work week schedule with additional overtime days with both day and night shift schedules available. At Tractor Supply, they work hard, have fun, and make money. Apply today at tractorsupply.jobs.
Are you tired of the same old entertainment options? How about something that's truly fun for both kids and adults? Nebraska Knockerball, the new place to go for fit and corporate parties. Step inside one of their inflatable spears and let out stress in a healthy form of exercise. Or try the human foosball, foot darts, yard pong, giant beer pong, basketball, Ball Connect 4, and much more. Nebraska Knockerball, specializing in physical, engaging fun. Call Nebraska Knockerball today at 402-460-8724 to learn more or book a reservation now.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone again, and with me on the line, Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, I know how proud you and everyone at the dealership are to earn the prestigious Honda President's Award year after year, 17 times. Tell our listeners what it means to you and your customers.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, all of us are extremely proud to have earned this award. I want all of our customers to know it's not just earned by one person's efforts. It's the entire dealership, sales, parts, and our amazing service department.
17 times. Wow. How does that compare to other Honda dealers?
This award is only given to the most elite dealerships that demonstrate excellence. We really do strive to go above and beyond for the ultimate customer experience before and after the sale. Charlie.
That's right. For 2022, Honda of Lincoln is once again Nebraska's #1 volume Honda dealer. Come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate, go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Patchy fog this morning, then a bit of a cooler afternoon on the way. We'll see 28, but temps falling into the low 20s by this evening. Northwest winds could gust to around 25. We'll see partly cloudy skies tonight with a low of 13. Back up just a turn with a high of 1. Just Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to the Ticket Water Cooler. Brought to you by Wingstop on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Oh! Skull!
Skull!
Skull! Skull! Skull! Skull! Skull! Skull!
We are back here on the Ticket Water Cooler. We're Vikings fans now on 93.7 The Ticket. We've invited Nick in for the crossover. Nick, how are you doing today?
I accepted the invitation. I'm doing well.
Yeah. Thanks for the invitation. Yeah, we tried. We had a design. We sent it out in the mail. It was nice. Yeah. Here you are. Big game night for Nebraska basketball against Northwestern, who we have to change the way we view Northwestern. They have the second best record in the league.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Which is crazy because they lose Pete Nance last year.
Yeah,
right.
Imagine him on this squad too.
He ends up going to North Carolina. Transfers to North Carolina, and they returned Bo Buie.
Is North Carolina good this year?
No,
they were preseason #1.
Yeah, they were preseason #1.
How do you think he feels? Like, granted, Northwestern's not ranked, but they're doing real good.
It's not quite the O'Shawn Mathis situation. They're fine.
Wow. Unless Northwestern makes the national championship game.
If Northwest, oh my goodness, I will lose my mind.
I actually think Nebraska, guys, call me. Okay, this is gonna make me sound bad.
You're crazy.
I think Nebraska. There's some juju in the air. It just feels like. So here's another thing. I mean, they're giving away. They're giving away to the first 500 college students. They're giving away a free mini hoop.
What's that? Oh, those like a door hanger.
Yeah, that's
those are awesome.
It's a Nebraska.
Nick's gonna get it.
Think about it.
You've got to get in there. Yeah.
We're gonna dunk on each other.
Think about it, guys. A mini hoop. Like this is not a T-shirt.
I love it.
Yeah.
This is a mini hoop
for the Northwestern game. That's
for the Nebraska Northwestern game. Well, it's the first game back for students. So that could play a factor.
The Iron N.
The Iron N. So it's the first game back for the Iron N, the student section. So I think they're trying to get. I mean, think about it. You've had 2 now season-ending injuries from 2 of your starters. Nebraska's 10-10. Where's the student? We talk about fan interest. I mean, what's the students? Where's their interest level at right now?
Yeah.
And so if you provide a free mini hoop, which as a college student, I can tell you that if I was in a dorm, I'd be like, hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let me, if
they might not stay through the entire game, but they're going to be there.
No, exactly. They're going to start being there. And 6 p.m. tip-offs are usually late arriving crowds anyway. So if Nebraska can survive and make sure they don't get down early, I think this will be a competitive game. I mean,
2.5 point spread. Northwestern's favored.
That's also very. I mean, that's smaller than Ohio State, and Nebraska had
every opportunity.
Nebraska beat Ohio State, and they had Emmanuel Bandamel in that game.
Yeah,
and they had Emmanuel Bandamel, and they were a 6.5 point favorite or underdog in that game, and so now you lose Emmanuel Bandamel, and you're now only a 2.5 point underdog at home. So I don't know. I think Nebraska may find a way to win this one.
Here's what might drive up the attendance too. Do you guys have FS2? Do you know how to find FS2? Is that
I think it would. I think
pretty easy, or
I know Fox Sports 1.
Right.
I know FS1.
FS2 might as well be ESPN Ocho. Like I don't think that is a standard.
Fox,
I have
Fox Business.
I have YouTube TV. It'll be on there somewhere.
I'll
find
so,
it.
Yeah.
I'll find it.
That's what's weird. That's what's weird. Okay, and I would like to know from people how many people that have like YouTube TV or Hulu Live actually pay attention to what channel they're on. Because I can tell you, like, if I'm searching for a sporting event, I don't look at the channel. I look at the graphic with the pictures of the teams.
Oh yeah, I just go to sports.
And then
I pick
it's
the
like,
sport.
it's on CBS. Like I remember when I flipped on the Wisconsin-Indiana men's basketball game over the weekend, a couple weekends ago. I did not. I was like, I was looking through just games of like, hey, I wonder what games are on. You go to the sports section that has all the sport channels. You're surfing through it, and you're like, oh yeah, I'll watch Wisconsin, Indiana.
Oh yeah, why not?
Don't even think about what network it's on. Not that it necessarily matters.
Does the broadcasters ever interest you or sway you in any way? Sometimes I'll
not in basketball.
tune in.
Yeah,
not really
care.
in basketball.
No.
Yeah.
I remember the national championship game. I was like tuning in, and I like went to switch to it, and it was like the analytics one, where like it had the small screen of the game and like everything on the sides, and I was like, what is happening? So I like had to back out, and then I was looking at the channels, and I was like, what is ESPN News? I was like, ESPN, and then it was like ESPN1, ESPN2, ESPN, whatever cast, like Coach's Corner, all this stuff, and I was like, just give me the regular one, please.
I would imagine that like Fox Sports 2 is a lot of rodeo, and somebody says on the text line, pretty much horse racing. That's what Roadkill says.
So you're telling me
like,
FS2 is like the Cowboy Channel. So if I turn into FS2 at some random time, will I see Michael Snow?
Well, so
maybe he gets brought on.
Yeah,
Cowboy
so it's
Snow.
like rodeo. I would imagine like Fox Sports 2 is like rodeo, or the game between William and Mary and UMass. That's going on at 11 p.m. on a Thursday night.
Those are great teams.
That's Fox Sports 2.
That's a 2-bid league.
Yeah, William and Mary and UMass. So I don't know.
I don't even know what league they're in.
I don't even know what league they're in either. Well, Nebraska played UMass a couple years ago in the Charleston Classic.
What are they? What is UMass CUSA or something? Conference USA.
Yeah. So okay, here we
William
go.
and Mary, like the Horizon or something.
Listen to this. Oak Valley Husker says. So Oak Valley Husker just flipped on Fox Sports 2. And said right now a dog show is on all day till 6.
Oh, love it. Have you ever watched those?
No, I have no interest.
I've actually sat there and like watched one
well,
once.
I'm still in school. I remember I remember my younger days where I was like, where like people would be like, Nick, did you watch the Puppy Bowl over the weekend?
No,
and I'm
I've
like,
never,
I've
never watched
I don't
the Puppy
care.
Bowl.
I don't care at all about Puppy Bowl. I don't care about I don't care about dog shows. Like,
you should watch a dog show once.
They're freaky athletic. I know. They can jump through
cool.
the hoops and they can do all
the
the little
slalom.
How they can contort their body.
They go through the little tunnel, jump over the little things.
Yeah.
The dog, the little seesaw. The dog's moving.
But
I want to
you
make
just
this
go to
clear.
the dog park and see.
No, but it's different. These
wanna-
are highly trained individuals.
I don't want to make it. I don't want people to think or misunderstand me where it's I don't like dogs. I like dogs. Don't like dog shows.
What about halftime
Nothing
shows
excites
with
me.
dogs on basketball?
I need to be careful. I need to be careful
I
here.
love that.
Because I need to be careful because Nebraska and a lot of other places they basically just recycle the halftime shows.
Yeah.
That's why Red Panda comes every
Shout out to
3
Red
months.
Panda.
Red Panda.
She's still the goat.
I saw.
You better watch yourself.
I think Red Panda might be washed.
She's never. She has. I will hurt you.
Rigo,
she has never.
She's getting older.
She has never and will never be washed.
I think
She's going.
washed.
She will retire before she's washed.
When she was at the Creighton game, do we need to do legal ID, Bach?
Oh, we can just. Oh yeah, that's fine. We can do that.
Just so we don't have to worry about it.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
So when I was at the Creighton, Nebraska game in December, Red Panda dropped a bull.
Oh yeah.
And
look, it happens.
And so there's that. Then when she
Did
came
it break?
No. Which I never understand because she's on a little the little.
I don't
what's
think
what's the one wheel.
I think
one?
she
Unicycle?
used to
unicycle.
I think she used to have breakable ones.
Then she started getting washed,
but that not washed.
See,
Not
exactly,
washed.
Rico. She started getting washed.
No,
she goes, you know what?
because
I need to get
no,
plastic.
because if you drop a breakable bowl on a basketball court, it could ruin the court, and then she'll get in trouble. So you switch to a non-breakable one, so you're good to go.
She's washed.
She doesn't drop balls
I wonder
very
how
often.
much she makes
doesn't-
per
yeah.
appearance, though.
Oh, that'd be
See, the
interesting. I wonder if
difference
I-
I'm
between
sure
her
it's
and the
nice
amazing
money.
Slottick
Yeah.
is if the amazing Slottick messes up, he dies.
Yeah, no.
I'm uncomfortable watching him. I don't like
nervous.
it. Yeah.
I go
I
back
don't
and
enjoy it.
I get more food from the media room
I hate
every
it.
time
Yeah.
Slottick's on.
I love it because it's so amazing, but I hate it because I'm like,
Yeah.
if he doesn't put the chair right, or if he just twitches, like his shoulder moves a little bit, like I'm gonna witness somebody die, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah. I just always wonder how did he find out that talent and how did he continue to push himself?
Oh, that's what I always wonder: is how do people
Yeah.
figure out that they're good at? How did Red Panda find out that she could ride a unicycle and toss bowls onto her head?
Well, it's weird because circus families, and I don't want to generalize here, but a lot of time, you just if you're in a circus family, you're taught at a young
Mhm.
age. So I think that's generally how it is. But
Like all
maybe
these people-
we have a hidden skill we don't know.
Like
about.
all these people with amazing talents. It's like, how did you what possessed you one day to swallow a sword? Like what?
Yeah.
So
Why try it?
according to the Washington Post, in 2014, so keep in mind for inflation and more notoriety.
Shout out to
Mhm.
inflation.
No, don't shout out.
Wrong New, also known as Red Panda.
Red Panda.
Wrong. RONG.
Okay.
Is so in 2014 she was reportedly retiring.
Oh.
She came back.
Because she realized that nobody could carry on her amazing legacy.
Yeah.
And there's more money.
And then
Also that.
she got paid at that time in 2014 $5,000 per halftime performance.
Oh, I would have thought a little bit more actually.
Well,
She
that
needs to
in
be paid.
2014.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
What is that
could
in
we
today's
assume
money?
like 10,000 today?
What is that
Double
in today's
it.
money?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, honestly,
She needs to
Yeah.
be paid more.
But the notoriety has gained a lot since.
it
then.
takes 10 minutes.
Yeah, she needs to be paid more.
That is $1,000 per minute.
Yeah.
The price per minute on that is just ridiculous.
It's
How
very
much do
important.
they pay those kids to get in overdressed Husker gear and run down?
I did that once at the Bob
Did you
Devaney.
really?
I did.
Did
I
you
won
win?
It. I won it, and
Nice.
I was kind of sentimental about it because when I took the signed poster of Husker basketball players that included Brandon Ubell and Brandon Richardson on off of my wall, it tore.
Oh no!
Because it was taped on my wall.
Oh.
And
Is that what you won?
I won a autographed poster by the entire team.
What a
Anything
tragedy.
No, it's just that.
Mm.
It was an autographed poster by the entire
Did you-
team
did
with the
you-
schedule.
Did you save it? Could you?
No, I threw it away.
Oh,
I threw it away. But
you
I-
could have taped it on the back.
I should have.
You'll always have the memory.
Brandon
don't worry.
Ubell's signature would have been worth millions.
Millions.
So would have Brandon Richardson's. But no, I mean, Red Panda's fine. She's fine. But
She's not fine. She's amazing.
her talent is amazing. What she can do by balancing bowls on her head is fascinating to watch.
Name me another person that can do that.
Nobody. That's why Red
Exactly.
Panda still has a job.
The GOAT.
But if Red Panda 2.0 comes out here sometime,
a young
Red
yeah.
Panda,
Never happened. She's
if-
like the
if-
LeBron
if
James of
Wrong's-
halftime shows.
If Red Panda's legacy continues, then Red Panda's gonna have to retire. She's gonna get pushed out of the biz.
Nah, she's like the LeBron James of halftime shows. # washed queen.
So here's the thing. They got those. We were back on dog shows. What I was gonna say was that the dog show, they got those ones that run down up and down the court that wear
Yeah.
their little booties
Yeah,
on their
yeah,
paws
yeah.
and they try to catch the frisbees or whatever.
Frisbees.
Those are awesome.
Oh, it's fine.
Oh, those are great.
Yeah.
Slottick is the scariest, but also the best.
I'm just not sure if that little chihuahua enjoyed training to learn how to be on that basketball. I don't think it's fair.
I also I miss also the groups that would do awesome dunks.
Oh
Like, off the
yeah, they
trampolines.
haven't been doing that.
You don't
lately.
see dunk.
They only
teams.
go to NBA games now.
Like bring out the Harlem Globetrotters at halftime, please.
That'll
Me and
cost
Nick
you
will
a
do
little
it.
bit.
Chuck up a
Give me a
shot.
trampoline and a basketball. I'll do it.
All right, happy hour coming up next. That'll wrap it up for the Take a Water Cooler. Don't go anywhere.